once again.
Okay. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramanandamatam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all. So we welcome you all for the Japa session. So those who have joined for the first time, for them, I just wanted to give an introduction, like what topic is going on. So we are talking about Sri Shikshashtakam. So these are the 8 jewel-like verses given by our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has incarnated as a devotee, okay, with the Radharani mood. So he is Krishna himself, but came as a bhakta, right, to teach us, and he preached the Krishna consciousness so that we can learn and follow the teachings of Krishna in a proper way. So we are discussing about these shlokas. So we have already done the discussion on the 3 shlokas. So it is already there. The recordings are available. So what I'll do is I am actually uploading in different languages on my YouTube channel. So I will share that link, the playlist with you in different groups, whichever you are into. So you can follow the previous one through recordings, and you can continue attending live through this Chapa session every day morning. So probably 3 to 4 days a week, I will be giving the class on this for the next few weeks. So you can continue like that. So today we will discuss on this shloka number 4. Okay. So what this shloka number 4 says, I will just recite and we'll go through the translation of it. So it says, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadish kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatat bhaktir ahaituki tvaye. O Lord of the universe, I do not desire material wealth, materialistic followers, a beautiful wife, or fruitive activities described in flowery language. All I want is life after life, is unmotivated devotional service to you. Okay, now here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is rejecting all the material things on a different level. So we'll try to see on which level what he is rejecting. So on a sensual or physical platform, he is rejecting wealth and beautiful women. So in general, on a sensual platform, what we want is wealth, so that we can enjoy different kinds of sense gratification, and we want women so that we can, sexually or mentally we can get the satisfaction. And on a pure mental platform, what he's rejecting is the followers, right? In that followers, not only outsiders or his fans or someone, but he's rejecting the sons, friends, relatives, wives, etc. All those people also, right? So here we have to understand that having an intention to get pleasure from these followers, this has to be rejected. Okay, if someone is following you, if you have sons, you have daughters, you have friends, relatives and all, we are not rejecting them, but our idea of having pleasure from them, right, that is what we are rejecting. Okay, so this in detail we will understand it in further also. And on an intellectual platform, what he is rejecting is a reputation like a learned scholar. So in generally on an intellectual platform, we have a desire like, I want to gain knowledge and I want people to know that, I'm so knowledgeable, right? And in terms of when we talk about this followers, nowadays, especially because of the social media platform, we are so much fond of having likes, comments, shares about our videos, about our articles, about our activities. We want to see how many are following us, right? So how many subscribers are there in our channel and all. So sometimes this is like very obsessive, right? Yeah, we can track to check, the quality of our content. If many people are following, that means the content is good. Like that, we can have a proper analysis. But sometimes this becomes an obsession. Like, every time I'm checking only to see, like, who has liked it, who has watched it, who has subscribed it and all. Then what happens is we'll get distracted from the main focus of our life or the main objective of our life, right? And on an intellectual platform, somewhere we are trying to gain knowledge so that we should be known as a knowledgeable person, right? Now if this desire is self-centered, then it creates a bigger problem. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not only rejecting this material things, but he's actually rejecting liberation also by saying, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatat Bhaktir Ahaituki Tvai. Mama Janmani Janmanishware means you life after life also. That means he's not telling like, somehow I came into this life. Now after this life, I don't want to have any material body. That is also he's not saying. What he's saying is, even if I had to take birth again and again, I do not mind. But what I want is a haituki bhakti. So haituki means motivated. Okay, ahaituki means unmotivated. That means if you are doing something for some ulterior desire, that I am doing this bhakti because I want to achieve something else, right? So many times we come to Krishna not because we want Krishna, but because we want something from Krishna, right? And this is why we are stuck in this material world, right? So what we have to ask, we have to ask Krishna that I want you. I don't want anything from you, but I want you only. Right? So ahaituki bhakti means everything what I have or what I want to do is for you only. Right? So that is ahaituki bhakti. Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives a different meanings of ahaituki bhakti. He says like it is kamana vasana rahita, it is devoid of material desires, and it is chinmaya swabhava yukta. It is fully transcendental. Right? All our desires are mixed with some kind of mode of goodness, some kind of mode of passion, or some kind of mode of ignorance. This triguna, which will be there, raja, tamas, sattva, these are mixed. Okay. Now, the desire to become a knowledgeable person and known as a knowledgeable person is also a sattvic desire. In this, there is no transcendental thing. So, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, fully transcendental, devoid of all these material modes also, and it should be very pure, shuddha, and it should be exclusive, right? No other option, right? Only you. And it is a mishra, it is not mixed with anything else. Nowadays, we have so all the mixed things. Okay, some or other way the purity is not 100%. People may claim like 99.99%, but still 100% pure, nothing is there in this world, isn't it? Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking about that 100% pure, exclusive, right, bhakti. Now, that is what even Prahlad Maharaj also says in our Srimad Bhagavatam. Right, many times we think that the material qualifications or the material opulences are important, but actually material things doesn't make much difference. So Sri Prahlad Maharaj says in the seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, Manye dhana vijana rupa tapah srutaujas tejah prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yogaha नाराधनाय हि भवन्ति परस्य पुंसो भक्त्या तुतोष भगवान gajayuthapaya. So Prahlad Maharaj continued and said, one may possess wealth, an aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, diligence, intelligence, and mystic yogic power. But I think that even by all these qualifications, one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this, and thus the Lord was satisfied with him. Many times we think all these material positions are important, right? And through this, we wanted to show something, we wanted to prove something, even to God also, right? And sometimes we feel like, I'm not able to do bhakti because, see, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have a proper situation, I don't have proper facilities, these, that thing we may tell. But actually, bhakti is ahaituki and apratihata. That means bhakti is always pure, and apratihata means it cannot be obstructed by anything. The problem is we make it haituki and we make it pratihata. That means we let all the things in this world become obstacles in our path of bhakti. So unless we allow them, they cannot. Right? Today, all our distractions, all our temptations are there because we allow them to be there, isn't it? Otherwise, they cannot be there. So that is why if we think that only rich people can be devotees or only rich people can be pure devotees, then we should have given only examples about Yudhishthir Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Amrish Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, and all, only Maharajas and great, great people, right? We would have never given the example of Sudhama, right? Sudhama was so poor, he had nothing to give to Krishna. Even the chipped rice that he has given to Krishna, that also he borrowed from someone else, right? So Krishna doesn't want we to give something which we don't have. Krishna only wanted us to give what we have, right? So Krishna doesn't say like, one time Gauranga Prabhu said that Krishna consciousness is not a process where we borrow something from outside and give it to Krishna. No, Krishna consciousness means whatever you have, that you give it to Krishna, right? If you don't have wealth, it's okay. Krishna is not after your wealth, right? If you don't have knowledge, Krishna is not after your knowledge. What Krishna wants is you heartfully give what is there in your heart, right? What is there in your mind, that you give it to me. Okay, if you don't have something, that is still fine. Just because you don't have something, it doesn't mean that you cannot progress. Okay, so this wealth, having a good family, luster, physical strength, all of this can be good if we have it. But if we don't have it, we need not worry about it, because they cannot become an obstacle unless we make them happen as an obstacle, right? So we'll try to understand this in a more profound way by understanding the three different paths that are given in our Vedic culture. So one is known as karma, second is jnana, and third is bhakti. So in karma means karma kanda section. Okay, so the Vedas have the complete knowledge, but in that most of the people focus on the karma kanda section. That means using the Vedic knowledge to increase our material facilities, material enjoyment. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that these people who uses the karma kanda section of the Vedas, they are materialists, but they are pious materialists. That means they have material desires, they have lot of obsession about the material things, but still they are pious. Why? Because they are taking the shelter of the Vedas. And these three paths, karma, jnana, and bhakti, are there for our spiritual progress only. But in karma and jnana, what happens is the progress is very slow and very difficult. But in bhakti, it is very fast. So how we'll try to understand. Now in karma, what happens is the people who follow the karma kanda, they actually romanticize the world. They say, yeah, troubles are there in this world, difficulties are there, but if you make little adjustment, we can enjoy a lot here also. That is why what they do, they'll try to use the Vedas. They wanted to do some vrata or yajna so that they can get a good harvest. They can get a son or a daughter. They get a job or increment in the business, or they want to even to go to heavenly planets to enjoy the heavenly pleasures. So all of that, their focus is on how I can enjoy this world more and more. So the focus is on self only, and the focus is on the enjoyment. Now, when we talk about the Jnana Marga, here Jnana means it's complete renunciation. Oh, you reject this world. This world is filled with the temptation and miseries and all. We should not stay in this world. As soon as possible, we should get out of this world. Okay. Now, the problem here is getting out of the world is the focus, and the foundation is self only. I am getting troubled here, I am getting temptations here, so that is why I want to go out of here. Now, nowhere it is mentioned that I want to go to Krishna, right? If you are coming out of your house only because you are frustrated in the house and you want to go out of the house, then that is still okay, but where you want to go? Right? So in karma kanda section, I want to enjoy this world. In jnana, I want to give up this world. Nowhere both of them is talking about that I want to serve Krishna or I want to go to Krishna. So bhakti talks about this. Bhakti says, I neither want to enjoy this world, neither I want to reject this world. I actually have a foundation that I want to serve Krishna, I want to love Krishna, I want Krishna. For that, if I had to stay in this world, I am okay. If I have to give up this world, I am okay. I can be happy in this world, I am okay. I am troubling and I'm getting temptations in the world, still okay. My main focus is not me, my main focus is Krishna. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mama Janmani Janmanishware. He's not telling, I want to get liberated. I don't want to be in this material world. Oh, it is full of troubles and obstacles and all. I don't want to be here. He's not telling like that. He's telling like, even if I have to take the Janma, the birth again and again here, that is also okay for me as long as I am able to get the Ahaituki Bhakti. So Krishna is always the center in the Bhakti. Now our Chaitanya Charitamrita, even our Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu tells us that Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam Bhaktir Uttama. So we should not have any separated interest or any separated desire where Krishna is not there. Now, in jnana and karma, what happens? We will have desires for ourselves. So that is why jnana karmadi anavritam. And what we have to do? Anukuliyana krishnanushilanam. That bhakti is uttamam. So that means if we are accepting anything in this world, we are accepting only because it is useful for Krishna. It is Krishna's desire. If we are rejecting anything in this world, we are rejecting only because it is favorable to Krishna and it is Krishna's desire. So now, when we can have this kind of attitude, saying and doing everything for Krishna, how come this kind of interest, this kind of mood can develop? Because now we are filled with so many material desires, and suddenly we start hearing like, we should not have desires, should give up all these desires, and we should have only desire for Krishna and all. How come we can achieve that situation? So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 11th canto, there is one shloka which says that bhakti pareshanubhavo viraktir anyatra cha. That means if you have that para isha anubhava, if you have that experience of that Supreme Lord, then what happens is you will actually reject everything that is lower, because the experience is so profound, so transcendental, that I don't feel interested in all of the small things, right? Generally, when we are children, our complete focus was like, which toy I want, which chocolate I want, which ice cream I want to eat, where I want to go and play. All of these things are our focus. But as we have grown, our focus is not on ice cream, chocolates, or toys now. Our focus is different. I want this promotion, I want this customer, I want to grow like this, I want my children to be like this, they have to educate it like this, my PF, my bank balance, many other things which we are thinking, and these are all higher than what we used to think in our childhood. So as we are growing, our desires are also changing and they are becoming bigger, right? Or they are having a different platform. So similarly, when we have that some sparsha of the Bhagavan, that means when we practice chanting, when we practice devotional service, we experience the Supreme Lord, and that bliss and that transcendental happiness will tell us like, all these worldly things are very, very small. For this, I need not struggle. Maybe I can maintain my life by doing some struggle, but I need not struggle too much, because actually the real happiness is there in the devotional life only. That is why internally also we develop this desire. Now, in the third text, we have learned that Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahishnuna Amanina Manidena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So there we are talking about what process and how much hard work is required so that we can reach to a stage of Kirtaniya Sadahari. Right now, there when we are struggling, what happens is internally we have a different desire and externally we are expressing something different, right? So externally we might say, okay, I will chant, I will get up, I will do this devotion, I'll try to balance my life, all that we will say. But internally the struggle will be there because the mind is still not convinced that I want to do this, right? So sometimes our parents say something to do, that time we will say yes, but internally we will feel like, why did I say yes? Why I have to do this and all. So similarly, when we take up bhakti also, internally we may have a no, externally we may have a yes. But that stage will continue for some time. But after that, the things will change. Now, if the alarm rings, we might, off the alarm and we want to get up, but inside the voice will come. Why don't you sleep for some more minutes? Still time is there. You can do it later also, no, right? The person who put the alarm is you only, but the voice is coming inside you only telling that you sleep. But when we grow in bhakti, before the alarm rings, we get up. And if we getting up because of the alarm, we'll just put it off and we just get up early and go and start doing our bhakti. But when we are not in that stage, till that time the struggle will be there. Okay, we are saying yes because our shastras are telling you have to get up in the morning, you have to chant, you have to be devotional. Some of our teachers, our spiritual gurus are telling, others also will say like, why you are sleeping so late, and also you should get up, and also so many external conditioning is there. Because of that we are saying yes. Internally we still are not convinced. But as we progress, right, as we struggle for a long time, then no one need to tell anything to us. We will say like, I have to chant is a past. Now my words are, I want to chant. I am not doing bhakti because someone is telling me. I want to do bhakti because I want to do bhakti, right? So internal, that desire, that the strong desire will come. Externally yes, internally also yes. If we are saying something no to the sense gratification, we are internally also saying no only. No, I don't want to eat this, I don't want to have this, because this is not favorable for my bhakti. So externally also we are saying no, and internally also we are convinced that this is not good, I don't want to do it. So that stage will come. Our scriptures talk about prescriptive things and descriptive things. Descriptive means, describing like this thing will be there, this thing will be there. Prescriptive means this thing you have to do, this thing you have not to do, like that. So in the text 3 it was prescriptive. Trunadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnan. You have to be tolerant than a tree. You have to be humbler than a blade of grass. And you have to give all respect to other, even though you don't get respect in return. That time only you can be in the stage of Kirtaniya Sadahari. So it was prescriptive. Now, this fourth text is actually descriptive. It is talking about the mood of those people who have achieved that stage or who are continuing that Kirtaniya Sadahari. What will happen? They will say, न धनम न जनम न सुंदरम कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिर अहेतुकी त्वयि. So the mood, the desire will be like, I don't want anything, but I want pure devotion. So those who are doing Kirtaniya Sadahari, their mood will be like this. That is what it is giving the description. Now, the Prahlad Maharaj also says that, why we have to have this mood and why we have to reach to that stage where we should not have any material desires. Because when Narsingadev came, right, Narsimha Swami came in front of Prahlad Maharaj and he told, like, ask for a benediction. Okay, I want to give you some benediction. So please ask. Then Prahlad Maharaj was hesitant. Prahlad Maharaj says, like, why I should ask any desire? I didn't do devotion so that, you come to me and you give me any kind of desires and all. So I don't want anything. But Dev says, no, 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 you have to ask something. Then that time Prahlad Maharaj says, Yadi dasyasi me kaman varamstvam varadarshava kamanam riti asamroham bhavatastu vrine varam. If at all you want to fulfill any of the desire, then I have one desire. That my desire is that my heart should not have any kind of desires, right? So what is my desire? I have a desire that I should not have any kinds of desire. Why? Because any kind of desire can make me drag again back to this material world, again into this material consciousness. So I don't want to have any desire. So my only desire is that make me desireless, right? So the main focus over here is that I should not have any material desires, because these material desires will pull us down every time. Sometimes, we grow in bhakti, one desire comes and it pulls us down, and for some days we will not practice bhakti itself, right? So these material desires are very, very dangerous. That is why Prahlad Maharaj says, please empty my heart of all these material desires. Actually, Prahlad Maharaj is on already on that same platform where he have no desire. That is why Lord personally came to protect him, right, by taking a different avatar. But he is representing us, right? We should have such desire that, we should not be having any kind of desire. And he also asked for the association of the devotees, because in the association of devotees only we will understand that, we should have the bigger desire like ahetuki bhakti. We should not have smaller desires like dhanam janam sundarim kavitam and all, right? So the association will tell us what can be our future, and because of that we get the inspiration and we practice bhakti. Before we get the pareshanu anubhava, yani paraisha anubhava, we should know that in future we can have that brahma samsparsha or paraisha anubhava. So to have that we have to practice this, and once we have it, now automatically we'll have this kind of, detachment and all, right? And because of that, what will happen? We will grow in bhakti incessantly, right? So the first five texts in the Shikshashtakam, they talk about sadhana bhakti, right? And mostly in sadhana bhakti, there will be struggle. There has to be hard work. There has to be, determination. Dhrida we have to be there. But in 6, 7, 8, we will understand that, now the struggle is ended. Now the struggle is in a different level. Now the struggle is that we are feeling the separation from Krishna. Okay, now no one is pushing us to do bhakti. We are getting pulled for the bhakti, right? So here on we will understand more about how our sadhana bhakti is getting into prema and raganuga bhakti and all, that we will understand. And some part of this fourth text is still there, which we have to understand, because sometimes when we talk about renouncing the things, we have to clearly understand that what is renunciation, what is irresponsibility, what is responsibility, and why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking about this, and in the stage of life which I am into, how I can reject the things and how I can go forward. So these things are also we will discuss in our tomorrow's session, so that we'll have a proper clarity about this shloka. Okay, so what we have learned today, we have learned that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is rejecting all the material things, that is wealth, beautiful women, followers, etc. and all. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadishakam. And what he's asking a haituki bhakti, that is chinmaya swabhava yukta, kamana vasana rahita, Kevala Shuddha Amishra Bhakti. That is what he is asking. And Prahlad Maharaj also has given us one shloka where he says that all these material opulences, material eligibilities, and all doesn't satisfy the Supreme Lord. Because if that is the case, then Gajendra has nothing, right? He was an elephant, but he could able to satisfy, and Lord appeared for him, right? So the material qualifications, if they are there, it is okay. If they are not there also, it is still okay, because that actually doesn't reflect too much on our bhakti. And we have understood the three broad ways in the Vedic culture, that is karma path, jnana path, and bhakti. In karma and jnana, focus is us only. Karma, we want to enjoy; jnana, we want to give up this world. But the main focus is we only. But in bhakti, the main focus is Krishna. So we may do karma, we may acquire some jnana, but our center is Krishna only. For Krishna only, we will accept and reject the things. And we have understood, like, how we can reach to that stage, because when we practice bhakti, we will start experiencing the Supreme Lord, and because of that, viraktir anyatracha will happen. So initially, when we start our bhakti, we might do the things because it is a right thing to do, because people are telling. But over a period of time, we will do the things because we want to do it. People may say, like, why you are chanting, but we will say, like, no, 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 I want to chant only. People will say, why you are listening to these lengthy classes and all this, and no, no, it is important for me. So we are not doing because others are saying, we are doing because we want to do it, right? So we'll reach to that stage, and the stage is very, very important for us, where we are rejecting the material desires and all, because these material desires will drag us back again and again into this material world. So, and as I told, the scriptures will give us some descriptions and prescriptions also. So the text 3 was about the prescriptions, what I have to do. The text 4 is about a description about that person who actually properly implements the text 3. He will have this condition, he'll have this mood. That is what we are learning. And we have also learned about Prahlad Maharaj saying that, the only desire I have is I don't want to have any desire. So we also have to develop ourselves to that particular stage. And I told this first 5 verses are Vaidika Sadhana Bhakti, that is what they will explain. And the further verses will talk about the Prema or Raganuga Bhakti. So that we will understand little later. And tomorrow in our class, we will talk about some more understanding about this renunciation, responsibility, attachment, detachment, and all. We will talk about it. Okay. Shri Shri Shikshashtakam ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Mataji and Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.